What's up, guys? Welcome to Chasing Projects. I'm Jeff, and this is your SoCal fishing forecast for Thursday, September 26th. Quick look at our 10-day weather pattern here. We still have some overcast happening here in the morning, and it's not burning off till late afternoon. And this is really because we have a little bit of outside wind here that popped back up. But as the week goes on into next week, it looks like it's going to be fading as these high temperatures return. Fingers crossed. But we'll see what happens. The wind has had a mind of its own as of late. Tonight looks to be a little bit of a small craft advisory that's dying down rather rapidly, which is good news. And it looks like the remainder of the week is really going to be that typical 10 to 15 knots most of the week, to be honest. Inner waters will be a little bit nicer, obviously, but generally speaking, northwest 10 to 15, and you end up with that 3 to 4 foot wind swell. As we fade in here into Sunday, things do heat up a little bit here. And this is 4 days out, though, so I really don't trust it at this point. But 17, maybe you see 20 knots. Looks like it turns it up a little bit before it turns back down. So we'll see. Again, I don't have a lot of faith in these models. Years past, you usually look out 4 or 5 days and have a pretty good idea of what's going to go on. But as of late, the weatherman's been wrong more times than right lately. So really check that 24 to 48 hour window, especially if you're going to head out. And right now, this is our current marine forecast here. Like I was saying, you're going to see 3 to 4 foot, a little bit of wind swell, a little northwest at 14 seconds. So pretty much the same stuff for the remainder of the week. Chart-wise, this is our 8-day here, chlorophyll. Water's looking pretty blue. A little bit of green water down here below the Coronados. Not a bad thing. I try to look at our 3-day temperature chart, but those clouds are making things pretty rough here. But you can tell that this green, light blue color, this is 67 degree water. We saw 70, 73 degree water here 2 weeks ago. So things definitely got pounded down after that wind that we had for the last couple of days. So we'll use the 8-day chart to kind of get a better look at what we got going on here. But as you can tell, things have definitely taken a change in the cooler direction over the last several days. On the backside here, we got shorter days or shorter daylight hours. And these cooler temps can definitely knock this stuff down a little quicker. So I still think there's plenty of fishing to do here through the end of September and most of October. But we'll see how it goes after that. I'm not really expecting a whole lot of pelagic action for November based on what I've seen so far here. But let's talk about what we got going on fishing-wise. Channel Islands, unfortunately, not much going on here. There was a occasional little bit of bluefin that popped up here, kind of by the hidden reef. That's come and gone. No real volume up this way. San Nick, a couple people have been out here looking for yellows, some halibut that can't be found. Pretty far to go for those, unfortunately, at the moment. But most people have been sticking to the offshore scene. What has been looked at Santa Barbara Island, there was no signs of pelagics, no signs of white sea bass, no signs of yellows, just your typical whitefish, rockfish, that type of stuff going on. So, fortunately, not a whole lot of volume there. And Catalina has pretty much been its usual self all summer long. No real action anywhere. You can still find the usual barracuda, bass, bonita around. But as the water temps do start to fall, things will be a little bit harder to catch. There was definitely some squid out here at Ben Weston. There was a commercial guy here still working it. So that stuff's definitely around. And I saw decent conditions at the East End when I was out here last weekend. So if you're looking for something to do, you don't want to go too far, it might be a good option. San Clemente Island. As of right now, not real good signs of fish. Still an occasional yellow that could be found. There's been squid popping back up at the island again in the usual spots, the dunes, the caves, the runway. So You might get a return of yellows there, especially if the conditions warrant it. But it's, it has not been a great year for this island. Actually, the last 2 years have been atrocious. So we'll see what happens. But we got that going on as well. But keep that in mind. This is going to be a possible option here for a combo day. Moving down to Coronado Islands, we had a pretty good yellowtail bite going on the last few weeks. That's definitely slowed down. There's been a spot of school grade, the 20 to 60 pound bluefin that's been hanging out here below the South Island. And people have been kind of whacking it, going to town. Obviously, you got to wait for the stuff to show on the surface. But generally speaking, that's the best fishing close to home, at least the mainland for a lot of people. So pretty good action over the last several weeks. Just make sure you got your usual documentation before you head that way. Don't get in trouble. It's not worth it. Let's not ruin it for everybody else. Offshore fishing. We had the War Heroes on the Water tournament last week. Lots of boat traffic out there. Some frustrations for people out there too. The fishing was not epic. It was around, but definitely tougher than most days, as it has been. What I did see, I ran out here Sunday to the 499 is where I started. Bottom detail here. Ran out here to the 499. Just a couple miles short. I really liked what I saw right around, it's probably like 9:30 in the morning. Whales, 1,000 dolphin, a ton of birds. Everybody's working. Looked really good, just missing the tuna. So I made up a note of it, marked it, and there have been fish from, the Kidney Bank to the Osborne and even further west, and even out to the Snail and almost to the 7-Eleven. So I know there's a lot more ground to cover, and that there's going to be a fair amount of boat traffic as well. So I wanted to kind of scout out what I saw and what I thought was going to bite, and make the best option for me without getting gang banged by 50 boats, more or less. So I slid up here towards the Osborne. Definitely found all the yacht traffic. Didn't see a better sign than what I saw back here, but I still wanted to poke around. Slid a little bit north. I found one school, smaller fish. They're on a tear, moving fast, really finicky. Could barely keep up with them. Never really got a chance to cast on because they were just moving so fast. So figured that wasn't worth chasing. One other boat was looking at that with me, and it just seemed like that would be a waste of time, judging based on what I saw earlier in the day. Slid a little bit west above the Osborne through the closure area just to kind of get a look at some other different water as I head back to what I was looking for. And came right to it, man. I'd set my timer, and the destination for hitting this high tide was like 12:30, and like clockwork. You could hear guys on the radio. I was like 10 minutes away. Hey, it's starting to show. It's starting to show. And sure enough, within like a mile and a half of my original mark, saw two foamers lit up. Sweet, came on. First foamer I saw was definitely big fish, 100 plus. Had the max out, circled them twice, didn't want it. I figured I'd slow it down, try not to spook them because they were definitely being a little bit finicky. Switched to the bar, put the bar way back, gave him another little swirl, and pulled it right through. Didn't get bit, pretty frustrating. And then they sunk out for a little bit, kind of just cruised real slow, same area, just waiting for them to pop up again. So another school pop up, but it was smaller grade stuff, like 20 pound. So not going to bite a big 13-inch squid on the bar. So reeled that up, switched to, cast and dash game, since that's what was showing up. And got one hooked, And then school snuck out again, and like clockwork, I see two boats heading right at me. I'm like, oh man, this is gonna get taken over. I avoided the yacht party for this specifically to do my own thing, and I told my buddy to pretend like he's taking a piss. So while the fish were down, maybe they didn't see it, and they pull right up within like half mile. Still plenty of space, it's fair. And they obviously saw something, but I was like, man, the fish were down. Like, how did they see it? And then I saw a spotter plane. So I don't know whether they got the call, but one of the boats was Ali. He was working in the War Heroes on the water tournament. So I didn't feel too bad about it, trying to get those veterans on fish. So it is what it is. And it was a tough day out there for those guys. But I did see him get one hooked, so I was stoked for him. But yeah, by then about 2:30, it just didn't really show that well anymore. We're well past the high tide. And I wasn't going to stay out here all afternoon anyway. I had other things to do. So headed home. Ride was pretty good till just past Cat, and then that wind was definitely up, blowing 15 to 20, almost 25 at Dana when I got back to the harbor. But it was a wet one, maybe time for some spray curtains in the boat. But all in all, good fun day, and what can you ask for? It's a nice day on the water. So as I mentioned in previous weeks, this stuff has been just moving around this basin a lot. It hasn't really been glued to one particular area. And already this week, the stuff that was up here at the Osborne, gone. It's kind of slid back here behind San Clemente Island, which is like the traditional old school magnet for bluefin. So let's see how it hangs the next couple of days here. I do like that there's squid back on the island. Try and, if you're going to come look for this stuff, start on the 100 fathom curve, the 600 foot marker, and look for it. But usually, this northwest corner holds good. Desperation obviously holds good. Let's see how this holds up, and maybe it'll hang to the island here for October. That'd be really nice. We still have bluefin fishing at Tanner and Cortez going on. This is still anchor, plunker bite, school size, maybe up to 80 pounds. Fishing number 4 hooks on 25 pound, 30 pound. This is your typical sport boat fall fishing, and this is what they're going to be doing because the fish aren't moving off these banks. They're staying here pretty locked in. Trying to chase this stuff in a sport boat, it's going to be really tough. Maybe you got close to limits, and then you want to go look for a bigger one here on your way back to San Diego or Long Beach, or whatever the case may be. Might be an option for you. But yeah, like I said, it's a lot harder to track down, and you got to make sure you hit it on the right tide. And too many things going on when the fish don't want to hang in the same place for more than a day. So as far as fishing down here in Mexican waters, unfortunately, it has not been great. There's been a little bit of sign of yellowfin and killpatty fishing down here by the Finger Banks. But again, not particularly. I mean, it's still 80 miles. That's a long ways to go for that. There was some random schools of yellowfin popping up here on the inner banks. Talking very, very minimal amount of fish here, and never seen 2 days in a row in the same spot. So this is just dumb luck if you happen to see it coming across. So keep your eyes peaked, especially on those slack tides, and maybe you got a chance at something else. But as of right now, just kind of weird fishing as a whole. Also, the commercial fishing for bluefin tuna from the Tuna Council has basically increased to double for the 25 and 26 seasons as far as quota wise. So that might have a dramatic effect on our sport fishing here. You're going to see a lot more seiners trying to wrap this stuff up next year. And that was for U.S. waters and Mexican waters. So we'll see how it goes. But bluefin was kind of our only thing to fish for this year. Aside from as far as pelagics go. So hopefully next year's a little bit better, but bluefin quota, it's discouraging. So we'll see what happens, but that's it for this week, guys. Be safe out there on the water, and yeah, have a good one. Cheers, guys. Hey, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and check out our website and online store at chasingprojects.com. And make sure you share the stoke.